Mars, Disarmed by Venus and the Three Graces. Painted by the famous neoclassical painter Jacque-Louis David. This is his last painting and can be viewed as a theme of war versus love and peace. In fact, one could agree that David had an eventful life that jumped back and forth between these two extremities. He called this his farewell painting. At the time, it surprised and puzzled many viewers and made them wonder what he meant in this painting, as the scene is played out in front of a pavilion in the sky. It displays a scene where Mars is handing over his sword to three graces, while Venus simultaneously crowns him with flowers. David said, "This is the last picture I want to paint, but I want to surpass myself in it. I will put the date of my 75 years on it, and afterwards, I will never pick up my brush again." As Mars unhands his tool, David unhands his as well. With no sword, Mars will not create war. Without a brush, David will not create art. Mars is a symbol of masculinity, standing down to Venus's femininity power. David is an icon of the neoclassical era, standing down to his final work of art upon its completion. Dark clouds are ushering into the painting, soon to devour the light, which could symbolize that David, at the end of his life, realizes that his own light will be fading out soon. Mars is dazzled by Venus's charm, but she seems hesitant about placing a crown of pink and white roses on his head. Perhaps David was using symbolism with his choice of flower color, pink for gratitude, admiration or sympathy, and white for a new beginning or a farewell goodbye. With pink, David could be showing his gratitude for the art of painting and the talent bestowed upon him to create it for himself and others as well. At the same time, he could be saying farewell as a painter with the color white, or greeting a new beginning to being something other than a painter. Cupid is seen untying Mars' sandal, but in doing so, has become disarmed himself. It's also curious that Cupid has not fired his arrow of desire at Mars. Perhaps Venus's charm needs no assistance. Venus is painted delicate and thinner than a typical interpretation done by other painters. The three graces, identified as the assistants of Venus, perform additional tasks in the background. The temple in the background assists the painting with the frame composition, as does the angled spear on the left, and the horizontal line of the couch Mars is reclining on. In fact, the temple and the angled spear in this painting almost make an exact match in the way it was used in the Oath of Horadie. To conclude, the frozen aesthetic of this painting captures the intention of rationality between love and war. A lot of David's previous paintings contain political themes or interpretations. However, this one strayed from those conclusions. David returned to a simple emphasis concerning moral themes. His last great composition could be interpreted as saying that war and violence, personified by Mars, must succumb to the love or the love and beauty of the arts. Perhaps it took David an entire lifetime, and a very eventful one, to reach the theme he would use for his final work of art, Mars Disarmed by Venus and the Three Graces.